By virtue of the powers vested in me as acting Vice-Chancellor, I constitute this gathering a congregation of the University of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in silent prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievement being celebrated on this occasion. You may be seated. Distinguished guests, graduandi, diplomandi, families, colleagues, and cousins, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You didn't hear me, I'll repeat. Distinguished guests, graduandi, diplomandi, families, colleagues, and cousins, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Now you have heard me. I just heard somebody earlier on saying University of UNISA. And I hope that it is not one of the graduates who said that. The University of UNISA, I mean University of South Africa, prides itself on the tremendous progress that has been made in developing an innovative culture among its employees and students. Ladies and gentlemen, nowadays, there is the talk of the town is AI. You go this side, AI. You come to UNISA, AI. You are on the street, AI. And I even heard somebody saying, AI is really taking our jobs. And just today, I asked Siri to change the TV channel. And guess what? It ended up calling my daughter. And I thought it was my job to call my daughter. So you see, AI is taking our job. And I'm told that AI have powers over things down to atomic level. It can even turn water into wine. And from poetry point of view, for those who are doing research or writing assignment, AI can turn into pain. For the word pain contains AI, especially if the similarity index is high after prompting AI tool to generate the assignment for one. However, for those who are smart, they gain from AI. For the word gain also contains AI. So they are turning pain into gain. Ladies and gentlemen, Ginny Romti advises us that AI will not replace humans, but those who use AI will replace those who don't use AI. I took the advice of Romti and did not want to be replaced, so I downloaded the Lord's Prayer from AI tool with the hope that I will attain the kingdom of heaven. As I pray and pray from the downloaded prayer, saying, Dear Lord, thank you for the new day and all the blessings. Guess what? The prayer went further and said, please verify that the information downloaded is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, I am both humbled and elevated by the honor and privilege to welcome you on behalf of the Chancellor, Dr. Thabo Mbeki, and Vice-Chancellor, Professor Puleng Ngabula, to this graduation ceremony this evening. I am not alone. I am with those that you have asked ancient paths from. For the Northern Sotho adage says, Matlaku amaswa, aema ka amatala. Indeed, the youth rely on the wisdom of the elderly. As students, when you found yourself at the crossroad, You kept on asking ancient paths even when you knew the way. And those you asked for direction from gave you the greatest lesson that shows that a great river does not refuse any small stream. You knocked and they opened for you. So having said that, you are welcome to the University of the Land. And the University of the Land offered a wonderful platform for you as students so that you are able to define tomorrow. And you did indeed define tomorrow. And this you did at your own pace, at your own time. Some of you ran faster than even Kasongo, hence today you are here graduating. Representing the office of the registrar, with me on the stage is the registrar himself, Professor M. Sepota. From the College of Law, we have Professor O.J. Gole, the Deputy Executive Dean. We also have Advocate M.A. Mtembu, and the college representatives, Dr. F. Matlobowani. From the College of Human Sciences, we have Professor Z.Z. Ngosi, Executive Dean, Professor Mputi, who's the college representative. And from the College of Accounting Sciences, we have Dr. M.T. Tlongwani, Executive Dean, and he's also going to deliver the Chancellor's address tonight. Dr. R.E. Kagudi, Acting Director, School of Accountancy, Mr. M. Tlongwani, and Professor B. D. Clerk, who are the college representatives. From the College of Graduate Studies, we have Professor K. Mbata, College of Education, Dr. P. Bloss, and Professor P. Mudau. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we also have the PhD graduate. We have their supervisors, Professor T. Duplessis, Dr. B. Shivambo, Professor K. Mabue, Professor T. Duplessis, Professor W. Shoring, and Professor P. Ditlek, and the doctoral candidates, Charles Ni Ayugu, Josias Swadi Mamabolo, Margaret Ndombi Zotwa Mbele, Chinelo Ogochugu Mbengu, Sibongile Success Sibanyoni, and Konani Michael Masia. We also have administrative staff, and the organist tonight is Mr. Manas Reiling. While the 20th century, ladies and gentlemen, gave us aviation, nuclear technology, mass production, in the 21st century, technologies in the cyber, physical, and biological spheres are increasingly converging. And these technologies, like I said in my introductory remark, include AI, blockchain, and the Internet of Things. These developments require new types of leaders. Leaders like this graduandi and diplomandi tonight, who have learned from the University of South Africa. And for us to succeed as a nation, we must be able to provide people with education in its totality. This means those who are interested in science and technology should also be required to study art, human and social sciences, as Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato, and many more philosophers would have done. There's no longer time for specializing. We have to generalize. Likewise, those who are interested in human and social sciences should also be required to study science and technology. For today, AI offers that opportunity. As we tackle the problems of our shrinking industries, we need to understand issues of automation, technology, and human capital to improve the quality of life of our people. Any collective knowledge gap in our understanding of technology or global economics or our knowledge of human capital competency will derail our ambitions of creating a developed society. The broader context of AI, the aims, hopes, and desires invested in application of this set of technologies is a terrain where questions of sovereignty, equity, innovation and governance re-emerge and often clash. Across the continent, governments, researchers, private actors are facing wicked problems around data flows, how AI is regulated, and who ultimately benefits from this transformation. And this is where we should also invest our time. In higher education landscape, for example, our ethical codes are necessary as part of our professional identity. Graduandi and diplomandi, you have chosen lifelong learning as it is at the heart of the disruption. People are complaining that jobs will be lost. Yes, jobs may be lost, or even better, be changed. The choice to disrupt or be disrupted lies with you, but you have chosen to disrupt. There will be pain, as I said in my introductory remarks, but we should turn it into gain. How much depends on whether you force the changes or you are forced. And we all know that, if I may use this analogy, human hand does not compete with a hammer. It guides and uses the hammer. Why should it be different with AI in our environment? It should be an enabler, not a disabler. For in most professions, we do what we always been doing. The job does not change, but the media and technology. For nothing is new under the sun. But the son of a carpenter promised someday to make all things new. Revelation. I didn't hear any amen. Let me pass. This should allow our graduates to enter and leave the system at numerous points as part of our lifelong learning process. Our education system at all levels must be to promote problem solving, and we must use computational thinking. Where I come from, they say, I don't know what it means. But the proverb highlights the positive impact of welcoming guests and the reciprocal nature of hospitality. Welcome to the University of the Land, the colossal from which the graduandi and diplomandi obtain knowledge. Most in the know and the leadership are the product of this noble institution, the fountain from which the students quench their educational thirst. Once again, you are welcome, relax, enjoy the ceremony and the hospitality of the University of the Land. Ululate if you can. Let us be inspired, lest we expire. Change your density to change your destiny. Thank you.
Good evening. Abshir. Sawubona. Okay. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Prof. Mwepe, esteemed members of the university management, distinguished colleagues, executive deans, deputy executive deans, dedicated graduation staff members, our beautiful, proud graduates, aren't you beautiful? Yes, you are beautiful. Their families and friends who are gathered here tonight. Good evening once more. First and foremost, allow me to offer my heartfelt congratulations to all the candidates who will be receiving their degrees and diplomas this evening. This is a moment of immense significance and achievement for each of you. I must say, a UNISA qualification, you'll agree with me, that a UNISA qualification is not merely a certificate. It is a testament to your dedication, resilience, and perseverance. And I'm deeply honored, Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, that this evening I'll be addressing the audience in this occasion on behalf of the Chancellor, His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki. Let us acknowledge the unwavering support of our loved ones, your families, friends, and employers who have stood by you throughout this journey. Their sacrifices, encouragement, and belief in your potential have played a vital role in your success. Their presence here today is a reflection of their commitment to your growth and achievement. I therefore encourage you to take a moment to reflect on the magnitude of this accomplishment. Go and celebrate. Celebrate in a way that honors your heritage and joy. We should not underestimate the importance of celebrating. We achieve much and often forget to celebrate our achievement. And therefore, I call upon you to go and celebrate. Whether you're going to slaughter a goat, a chicken, a cow, or so, but go and celebrate. However, as we celebrate, we must also confront the socio-economic challenges that continue to affect our nation and the broader African continent. Amongst these, poverty remains a pressing concern, particularly among the youth, women, and children. The question is, can South Africa achieve the NDP plans or goal of eliminating poverty by 2030? You'll agree with me that we cannot discuss poverty without addressing unemployment. Anita Klute, one of the researchers, in her article, Youth Unemployment in South Africa, she said, there is a bi-directional relationship between poverty and unemployment, each perpetuating the other. She argues, rightly so, that creating employment opportunities is key to breaking the cycle. As of April 2024, South Africa had the highest unemployment rate of over 34% among the G20 nations. And the Eastern Cape was the highest nationally. This is a crisis that we must address urgently. The economic consequences are severe, but so too are the psychological impact. Mental health, well-being, and social stability are all at risk. Unemployment contributes to a range of social ills, including crime, divorce, and even suicide. How do we respond? What do we do? One proven strategy, as seen in countries like Japan, is investing in education and skills development. Our professor here at UNISA, Professor Charlie, once said, people with better education stand a good chance of securing employment. Tonight, I challenge you, UNISA graduates, to go beyond seeking employment. Use your education to create employment. Explore the natural resources around you. We have the land, oceans, minerals, etc. Consider how they can be harnessed to generate opportunities. The skills and knowledge you have acquired are tools for transformation. Use them to solve the problems facing our country and the continent. Indeed, our basic education system needs reform. Infrastructure must be improved, from electricity to water access. But through UNISA's catalytic niche areas, we have the potential to address these challenges. Let us be innovative, resourceful, and bold. The challenges we face, that is economic inequality, corruption, weak governance, limited health care access, climate change, inadequate infrastructure, and political instability are complex and interconnected. They demand comprehensive, inclusive, and sustainable solutions. Addressing these issues requires collaboration across government, civil society, the private sector, and communities. As graduates equipped with knowledge and skills, you have a pivotal role to play in driving positive change and shaping the future of our societies. You are the light of the world. Be a beacon in your community. Let your education illuminate the path for others. As it is written in Matthew chapter 5, verse 13 to 15, no one, after lighting a lamp, covers it with a jar or puts it under the bed, but puts it on the stand so that those who enter may see the light. Let your knowledge and education shine brightly. Let it contribute meaningfully to solving the challenges we face as a nation and as the continent. Congratulations once again. Go forth with pride, purpose, and commitment to making a difference. Congratulations. I thank you.
Dr. Tlungwani is challenging the graduandi and diplomandi to create employment rather than seeking for jobs. He is also skeptical if we are able to attain the NDP plans for 2030, especially with regard to poverty reduction. Can we give him a round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, before we start with the conferment of the degrees and diplomas, may I kindly request you not to leave the hall before the end of the ceremony. And also, please, if you are using a phone that is powered by paraffin, please switch it off so that it doesn't disturb the proceedings. By virtue of the powers entrusted to me, I shall now proceed to confer the degrees and diplomas of the university on the candidates whose names appear in the program, and I request the representatives of the colleges to present the candidates to me.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Charles Ni Aiku for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Professor T.C. Duplessis, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled A Conceptual Framework for Dialogic Corporate Websites in Ghana's Public Sector, he qualitatively delineates the corporate website as an online dialogic public relations tool. He proposes elements for a conceptual framework that contributes towards building better relationships between Ghanaian public sector organizations and their publics. The findings contribute to public relations practice in the public sector by offering guidance on how to use the corporate website, both strategically and tactically, as an online tool for dialogic communication with the publics.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Charles Ni Aiku, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Charles Ni Aiku.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Josias Nkwadi Mamabolo, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Dr. B.A. Shibambu, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis titled Incorporating Business Intelligence and Knowledge Management in an Enabling Ecosystem for Entrepreneurs, a Department of Small Business Development South Africa framework, he examined the role of business intelligence as a knowledge management tool in supporting entrepreneurs at the Department of Small Business Development, drawing on qualitative interviews and document analysis The study identified low adoption and limited integration of business intelligence and knowledge management as key barriers that render DSBD support programs reactive and misaligned to entrepreneurial needs. This thesis proposes a practical BIKM model that enhances the fostering of knowledge sharing and aligns entrepreneurial support with long-term sustainability outcomes.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Josias Nkwadi Mamabolo the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Josias Nkwadi Mamabolo.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Margaret Ndomzodwa Mbele for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor K.A. Mabue, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Margaret Ntombizoda Mbele, in her thesis entitled Evaluation of the Implementation of the School's Sexual and Reproductive Health Policy in Gauteng Province, she observed that while the implementation of the Integrated Schools Health Policy has been reported widely, the effectiveness of the implementation of the school reproductive health component thereof remains unclear. The problem was based on its continuous poor outcomes. By adopting a mixed method approach, she developed guidelines to strengthen the effectiveness of integrated school health policy implementation. This would enhance the policy's clarity and usability for implementers of the school's sexual and reproductive health policy.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Margaret Ndomzodwa Mbele the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Margaret Ndombizodwa Mbe.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Sibongile Success Sibanyoni for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor W.J. Shuring, to read a citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
Chancellor, in a thesis entitled From the Lens of Blessers Towards a Psychological Understanding and Preventative Model for Intergenerational Sexual Relationships, which was based on a qualitative study of blessees in Gauteng, South Africa, she explored perceptions of blesser-blessee relationships, their psychological effects, and the relevance of psychological services for blessees. Rooted in the findings highlighting the psychosocial risks of such relationships, Sibongile proposed a preventative model with psychoeducational tools guiding stakeholders in supporting adolescent girls and young women in distress.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Sibongile Success Sibanyoni the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Sibongile Success Sibanyoni.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, he is our staff member, senior lecturer. I have the honor to introduce to you Konanani Michael Masia for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Professor B. de Klerk, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled The Development of a Tax Literacy Competency Framework for South African Small Startup SMMEs, he developed a novel tax literacy competency framework for startup small business owners. The framework addresses a critical gap in tax compliance. Grounded in human capital and organizational lifestyle theory, the study employed a qualitative, exploratory descriptive design to investigate the core tax competencies required by SMME owners. Through a thematic analysis of diverse stakeholders' perspective, the research delineates essential tax literacies and knowledge areas, offering a structured framework for practical and policy relevance. The framework makes a distinguished contribution to tax education, SMME development, and the broader field of tax literacy. Prof. Raboni Gabo was the co-supervisor.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Konanani Michael Masia the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Konanani Michael Masi.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Yako Hreileng receives the degree of Master of Accounting Science.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Master of Laws. Stella Pazaropoulos Good. You can get through. To make a gift Mashaba. Mulalani Kingsley Mukomani. Nombuso Nomcebo Piri. Nkosnati Knowledge Sitole. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the degree is obtained with distinction. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Master of Arts in the College of Law. Soleka Chris Chauke. Boni Mielani Maswanganye. Kamohelo Rilebuhile Pelesani. Mufidi Fidi Doris Rakwale. Ms. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree Bachelor of Arts Honors in the College of Law. Nozipho Ngobile Ingrid Mabuza. Nkele Magdalene Matsumani.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree Bachelor of Arts Honors in the College of Human Sciences. Oratile Lekhwasi. Emma Samkelisiwe Makanye. Raisibe Eunice Mbokomani. Lehlohonolo Geli Mulefe. Princess Loveness Ndlovu. Anna Shongwe. Perseverance Khotatso Silumbani.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Accounting Sciences. Anastasia Amos. Marcio Leonardo Dizar. Sashen Brian Dava. Sinenhlanhla Innocentia Dlamini. Kineilwe Loradiale. Amon Gagiano. Dwayne Guzen. Cherise Natasha Jordan. Chantel Kotz. Appel Kutlwano Letswalo. Caitlin Chelin Low. Lavas Mabasa. Lesego Bridget Mafuma. Munyarazi Magaya. Abafani Patricia Makwarel. Mushiani Kotato Maluma. Samantha Manilal. Dineo Princess Mashau. Clifton Kulani Maswangani. Rilebuhile Joyce Matimbi. Stella Mwati. Bonolo Emily Mukwena. Masila Mari Munchu. Precious Dikacho Motlali. Nyasha Munemo. Lin Tadiwanashe Tichaneva Mufuma. Mongezi Zakele Mzimela. Melisha Naik. Nobuhle Kheza Ngobeni. Leoda Priti Ngubani. Mtulisi Nkiwani. Simon Manda Nkosi. Chanel Pretorius. Zamanguni Queen Salfir. Dayasha Sebejen. Vivian Amogelang Sitedi. Dumisani Sikombo. Tuli Sitole. Ruan Bernados Swanepul. Komuto Jekina Tefu. Makanani Calvin Tokota. Rose Busi Nonhle Tswaye. Tsawe.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Laws. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Ibrahim Akuji obtains the degree with distinction. Larissa Becker. Uratile Aubakwe Chabalala. Mihleketo Witness Fumani. Thank you. Akenza. Khulufelo ke kana. Urania Justine Lamola. Tlotliso Lipiana. Spamandla Lukele. Maribulle Stefina Mamecha. Gladness Manganye. Karabo Pascal Masalisa. Precious Zodwa Masemula. Tato Matimulani. Baniken Andile Mazwim Shangu. Gilbert Mudigeng Morocco. Tshepo Paulson Moto. Chimangazo Arthur Mufamadi. Vugara Mulauzi. Amokhalang Nyalungu. Picture, Palisa. Palisa Rampedi. Malungwani Ananias Sefara. Boni Florence Shiviti. Ashton Danielle Shrives. Ngobile Grace Victoria Sibanyoni. Barend Daniel van Aswegen. Andrew Jean van der Merwe. Kwanele Zungu Manzini.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received a degree of Bachelor of Arts at the College of Law. Samuel Eshla Hlungwane. Ntokozo Thembelihle Masilela. Lehlohonolo Matlaela. Millicent Mina. Bongani Eric Mwagi. Azinweni Mulawudzi. Nhlanhla Gavin Nhlapho. Busisiwe Nkosi. Khutione Kilabe Pilane. Machweni Wilicius Siretlo. Barerang Reneilwe Uone. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received a degree of Bachelor of Commerce in the College of Law. Sichaba Boroko. Valentine Masikhal.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Patricia Kinosi Musi received the degree Bachelor of Social Work. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Lesani Eunice Ramokhopa received the degree Bachelor of Information Science. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree Bachelor of Arts in Nursing Sciences. Zanele Jane Hlachwayo. Matapelo Martha Lefakani. Selaelo Eunice Make. Leticia Mabena. Thelma Mankekulu Mamba. Patricia Kidiboni Matlala. Sylvia Nondumiso Mgoki. Khomotso Mongwegi. Togo Miriam Muelase. Lesego Ana Sikhosana. Nomthetho Promise Similani. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Josephine Rox Nkosi. Zinte Poshiamili. Glory to Matwa. Tumelo Moabelo. Sinethemba Nokpiwa Patience Sitole. Naledi Wendy Chibo. Khulani Sindiwisani. Sivania Megan Zondela. Letuktula Felicia Fagude. Alrich Jonathan Isaacs. Martin Kwapeng Lebotsi. Lebogang Patience Lekalakala. Lilita Madliwa. Mpo Entle Mafisa. Muzikaise Fulfillment Caesar Maseko. Go Johnny Mashalani. Lebogang Samukelo Ndaba. Nyeleti Shamaine Ngobeni. Precious Senate Sohwane. Gemma van Rooyen.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidates will now be introduced to you. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received their postgraduate diploma in the College of Accounting Sciences. Lungiwe Patricia Kuneni. Shumani Edwin Makwe. Gausitwi Didintle Nkoriso Masangwane. Kulani Matibula. Angeline Marie Roy Matsikitsi. Musegu Nontsikelelo Mugatusu. Lihua Harubumutu Valerie Mukanhu. Sorry. Molebugeng Molele, my apologies. Prenishwa Moodley. Tumelu Jeffrey Muremi. Nombasa Mapuniswa. Boipelu Muptule. Mutule. Mary Nonki Nalisu. Okay. Luxelo Christopher Nakleku. Tidimalu Unteriti Pilani. Don Tepu Ramutswala. Tandu Bridget Sabanda. Nilesewe Tandikele Sitole. Anke Laurentia Swanepoel. Musewankosi Matlatla.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Porisa Twazi received postgraduate diploma in the College of Human Sciences. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate receives the diploma in the College of Human Sciences. Kutlwano Shamaine Dichaba. Gugu Singete Duma. Ashley Faith Koza. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Gugula Mantungwa Kumalo receives diploma with distinction. Naledi Princess Libito. Priti Samulo Makubele. Lesego Makwe. Nkele Christine Mashabela. Tebogo Sophie Mate. Michelle Sipei Naledi Macheke. Ramukhoso Julia Mohale. Ahang Mukhumuti. Pindile Munaiwa. Tabang Brian Musipi. Thank you. Ntomzotwa Elizabeth Mpato. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Rachel Shelley Mpahlele received diploma with distinction. Nodumiso Desri Msubo. Henriette Languta Nhlangwini. Zikhona Nombulelo Pambo. Tabang Beauty Ramanzi. Ntabeleng Alina Rataba. Ndabulelo Chivase.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received a diploma in the College of Law. Portia Khonzi Bushielo. Surprise Liberike Dipia. Kagiso Manana Kumalo. Bokang Mendi Letsoko. Shamekwe Love. Patricia Murungwa Mabaso. Maureen Ramasela Masubele. Khumuzo Shamaine Mudiba. Boipilo Mapule Jennifer Mukutswane. Bella Ngobeni. Gift Jessica Ntimane. Marcelo Christina Rizzolu. Lisbeth Mulatelo Sitsedi. Lisigo Sitole. Belinda Tabane. Onesimo Tengile. Njabulo Innocent Zwane.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are happy and you really, really know that you are happy, give the graduandi and diplomandi a round of applause. I am more interested in the red gown because when I grow up, I want to be like them. May I request Dr. Ayigu, Dr. Mamawolo, Dr. Mbele, Dr. Sibanyoni, and Dr. Masia to stand up. Thank you for putting the cart before the horse. I was going to ask you to give them a round of applause. So I don't know what to do now. Let us give them a round of applause. We also thank their supervisors, Professor Du Plessis, Dr. Shivambo, Professor Mabue, Professor Schuring, and Professor Ditlerk. Let us give them a round of applause as well. You may be seated. I was supposed to say et al referring to others. But they will also reach that it is within reach. And if I have to give you a hint, if you want to beat AI tool when you play chess, and if you have the gadget that has sensors, you just say check. You will thank me later. It will think that there is a system error because if you say check, AI thinks there is a system error and then you win the game. That is how you beat. But I won't tell you what to do if you want to get a low similarity index from Turnitin. That is classified. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are celebrating those who dare to move mountains and have done so by moving pebbles and stones. These people, they speak of paradigms, ontologies, epistemologies, axiologies, and all the ontologies and ologies. Some stones and pebbles were heavy for them to carry. That assignment that was due. And these people here didn't want to give you an extension. But you should remember that deadline is also a vital factor that we are using for measure. If we keep on giving you a deadline, you are going to ask for a deadline when you are at work. And there will be a lot of potholes on the roads and no service delivery because you'll be requesting deadline. So you should do the work before time as well. That high similarity index, when you are about to submit your thesis, that is when you realize that your are bigger than that of Kaizer Chiefs, ESCOM combined, and they require to be presented before Madlanga Commission. We know that academic institutions are figuratively and literally ivory towers. And most universities, I'm told, are strategically built on the mountains so that the students can ascend the mountains in search of knowledge. Think of UCT, think of TUT, think of UL, University of Mpumalanga, just to mention a few. And of course, our own University of the Land, the beautiful UNISA, which is on top of the Muckleneck Hill, with a beautiful view from R21 when you approach the Fountain Circle. You would even think that an aeroplane or a spaceship is about to land in Pretoria. And as you embarked on your studies, ascending that mountain figuratively and literally in search of knowledge to solve grand societal problems, the journey was hard at the beginning and also hard at the end. But once you take off and you reach the cruising altitude of 40,000 feet, you can relax and enjoy the flight, just like you are doing today after you have landed. You only worried when the cabin crew was preparing you for landing. Ascending the mountain can be very physical and mental, with long hours spent working your way slowly up and down a mountain with a heavy pack on your back. And before you can go, you'll need to know the technical skills. And those technical skills include searching for information and also being able to write and also making sure that you don't plagiarize as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, UNISA is your alma mater and you are its alumni. I am told that this covenant is unbreakable and unshakable. It is bound here on earth as it is in heaven. Those who think the bond can be broken, in Northern Sotho ba re inama se o tshele go feta ga tsela. In English, they will say, you should forever hold your peace. Ladies and gentlemen, graduandi and diplomandi, as we celebrate today, we should remember that we are at the critical moment of scholarship. I spoke of AI. AI tools are becoming embedded in our daily life, academic life, workplace, universities, and across Africa, we are wrestling with foundational questions. And these questions we cannot ignore. Tonight, we are sitting in the shade, even though there is no sun, but we are sitting in the shade because you planted the tree when you started to enroll with the University of South Africa, the University of the Land. So the lesson we can learn is that the best time to plant a tree was when you enrolled. This now, today, is the second best time to plant another tree so that very soon you will also graduate and be like them as you grow. Ladies and gentlemen, in South Africa, we know that we are in the hub of the periphery because Africa is in the periphery of the hub, which is the globe, because there is a hub in every periphery and a periphery in every hub. So a Djibouti adage, it says, clouds do not always mean rain, but smoke is a sure sign of fire. As clouds float weightlessly in the sky, and you hear the prophets of doom, forecasters making prophets of doom, from cloudy forecast to clear sky, giving the hint of rain in the air. For there is AI in the rain and AI in the air. As it rains, clouds gather. Birds of the sky hover in the air, showing the sign of joy. For every cloud has a silver lining. Ladies and gentlemen, the poet in me says, if you want my voice, I'll give you an invoice. If it was not a Monday, I was going to join you as you celebrated your homes tonight. But my colleagues here will definitely join you virtually in spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, now that you have graduated, you have become part of the UNISA alumni, you are now part of the illustrious circle of excellence. Your responsibility is to contribute and help define tomorrow. These are many things you can do to help shape the future in service of humanity. You can become an e-tutor, continue your lifelong journey with the College of Graduate Studies and produce knowledge that will help societies. And lastly, donate to the University of South Africa Bursary Fund by using the online platform worldwideweb.unisa.ac.za, and go to the donate button. Ladies and gentlemen, after this announcement, I would like you to rise for the singing of the national anthem, the words of which are to be found on page 24 of the program, and to remain standing after the anthem to enable me to dissolve the congregation. You are also requested to remain standing while the academic procession leaves the hall. You may be standing.